Bodhisattva Samantabhadra's Encouragement. Chapter 28.
In Chapter 28, Bodhisattva Samantabhadra comes to the Lotus Assembly to encourage living beings to propagate the Dharma Flower Sutra. For example, he says that if people uphold the Dharma Flower Sutra, he will mount his white elephant king with its 6 tusks, and together with a multitude of great bodhisattvas, draw near to those people, appear before them, make offerings to them, guard and protect them, and comfort them. These things are also done as offering to the Dharma Flower Sutra. Should such people forget a line or a verse of the sutra, the bodhisattva will prompt them and read and recite the sutra with them until they master it. The bodhisattva will also explain the Dharma for them, guiding and teaching them in order to bring them benefit and joy. Moreover, those who uphold, read, and recite the Dharma Flower Sutra will, upon seeing Bodhisattva Samantabhadra, immediately attain 3 dhāraṇīs called revolutions, billions of koṭis of revolutions, and skillfulness in Dharma sounds.
At that time, Bodhisattva Samantabhadra, with self-mastery, spiritual powers, awe-inspiring virtue, and renown, came from the east together with countless, limitless, numberless, great bodhisattvas. The lands they passed through quaked, jewel lotuses rained down, and countless billions of koṭis of kinds of music played throughout those lands. The bodhisattvas were encircled by a great multitude that included countless gods, dragons, yakshas, gandharvas, asuras, garudas, kimnaras, maharagas, humans and non-humans. Each demonstrated awe-inspiring virtue and spiritual powers. Arriving at Vulture Peak in this Saha world, they bowed in obeisance to Shakyamuni Buddha, then circumambulated him to the right 7 times. Bodhisattva Samantabhadra then said to the Buddha, "World-honored one, when I was in the land of Buddha, superior king of jeweled, awe-inspiring virtue, I heard from afar that in the Saha world, the Dharma Flower Sutra was being taught. I have come with countless, limitless, billions of koṭis of bodhisattvas to listen to and uphold this sutra. I sincerely entreat the world-honored one to teach it to us. After the parinirvana of the Tathagata, how will good men or good women encounter the Dharma Flower Sutra?" The Buddha said to Bodhisattva Samantabhadra, "If good men or good women fulfill 4 prerequisites, they will encounter the Dharma Flower Sutra after the parinirvana of the Tathagata. First, they must be protected and cherished by all Buddhas. Second, they must plant a multitude of roots of virtue. Third, they must decisively set themselves on attaining awakening. Fourth, they must resolve to rescue all living beings. If good men or good women fulfill these 4 prerequisites, they will surely encounter the sutra after the parinirvana of the Tathagata." Bodhisattva Samantabhadra then said to the Buddha, "World-honored one, in the world troubled by the turbidities, which will appear in the final 500-year period following the parinirvana of the Tathagata, if there are people who uphold this sutra, I shall protect them, keep them from misfortune and harm, and enable them to be peaceful and grounded so that no one who seeks out their faults can take advantage of them. No matter who wants to trouble them, whether it be a demon's son, a demon's daughter, a demon's subject, a demonically possessed being, a yaksha, a rakshasa, a kumbanda, a pishaksha, a kritya, a putana, or vetala, none shall get the better of them. Should these people, while walking or standing, read or recite this sutra, I will mount my white elephant king with 6 tusks, and together with a multitude of great bodhisattvas, approach these people, appear before them, make offerings, guard and protect them, and comfort their minds. We do this also as an offering to the Dharma Flower Sutra. If these people sit pondering over this sutra, I will ride my white elephant king and appear before them. Should they forget a line or verse of the Dharma Flower Sutra, I will prompt them and read and recite it with them until they become thoroughly fluent in it. At that time, upon seeing me, those who uphold, read, and recite the Dharma Flower Sutra will rejoice greatly and become even more vigorous. Having seen me, they will immediately attain samadhi and dhāraṇīs, named revolutions, billions of koṭis of revolutions, and skillfulness in Dharma sounds. They shall attain dhāraṇīs such as these. World Honored One, if in the world troubled by the turbidities, which will appear in the final 500-year period following the parinirvana of the Tathagata, there are bhikshus, bhikshunis, upasakas, or upasikas, who wish to practice the Dharma Flower Sutra by inquiring into its meaning, upholding it, reading or reciting it, or writing it out. They should do so with single-minded vigor for 21 days. At the end of a full 21 days, mounted on my white elephant with 6 tusks, and surrounded by countless bodhisattvas, I will appear before them in a body that all living beings delight to see. I will explain the Dharma for them, guiding and teaching them in order to bring them benefit and joy. I shall also teach them a dhāraṇī. Once they attain this dhāraṇī, no non-human will be able to hurt them, nor will they be confused by women. I will also constantly protect these people. I sincerely hope that the World Honored One will let me proclaim this dhāraṇī. Then, in the presence of the Buddha, he proclaimed the following mantra: Adande dandapati dandavartani dandakushale dandasudari sudari sudarapati buddhapashyane sarvadharani avartani sarvabhashya vartane suavartane samga parikshani samga nirgatani asamge samgapa gate tri adva samgatulya prapte sarva samga samatikrante sarva dharma suparikshte sarva sattvaruta kaushalyanugate simhavikritite. World Honored One, if there is a bodhisattva who hears this dhāraṇī, you should know that it is due to the spiritual power of Samantabhadra. If the Dharma Flower Sutra is circulated throughout Jambudvipa, and there are those who uphold it, they should think thus: this is all thanks to the magnificent spiritual power of Bodhisattva Samantabhadra. If there are those who uphold this sutra, read or recite it, are properly mindful of it, explain its meanings, or cultivate according to its teachings, you should know that they are carrying out the practices of Samantabhadra. They have planted deep good roots in the presence of countless, limitless Buddhas. Their heads will be rubbed by the hands of all Tathagatas. If people merely write out the sutra, at the end of their lives, they will be born in the Triumphshimsha heaven. At that time, 84,000 goddesses will welcome them with all kinds of music. These people shall then don crowns made of the 7 treasures and enjoy themselves among the ladies in waiting. Imagine the rewards for those who uphold, read, and recite it, are properly mindful of it, explain its meanings, and cultivate according to its teachings. If there are those who uphold, read, recite, and explain its meanings, at the end of their lives, 1,000 Buddhas will extend their hands to welcome them, freeing them from fear and keeping them from falling into the lower realms. Instead, they will immediately be born in the Tushita heaven, the abode of Maitreya Bodhisattva, graced with 32 physical hallmarks. Maitreya Bodhisattva is surrounded by a multitude of great bodhisattvas. Billions of koṭis of goddesses and their retinues are born in that heaven. Those who uphold, read, recite, and explain this sutra will gain merits and benefits such as these. Therefore, those who are wise should single-mindedly write it out themselves or have others write it out. They should uphold, read, recite, and be properly mindful of it and practice according to its teachings. World-honored one, I now guard and protect this sutra with my spiritual powers. After the parinirvana of the Tathagata, I shall ensure that it is widely propagated in Jambuvipa and does not vanish from the world. At that time, Shakyamuni Buddha praised him, saying, Good indeed, Samantabhadra, you are able to protect and support the sutra and bestow peace, joy, and benefit on numerous living beings. You have already realized inconceivable merit and profound great compassion. From the distant past, you have resolved to attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi and have vowed to protect this sutra with your spiritual powers. I shall use my spiritual powers to protect those who uphold the name of Bodhisattva Samantabhadra. Samantabhadra, if there are people who uphold, read, recite, are properly mindful of, practice, and write out the Dharma Flower Sutra, you should know that these people thereby see Shakyamuni Buddha. It is as if they have heard this sutra from the Buddha's mouth. You should know that they have made offerings to Shakyamuni Buddha. You should know that the Buddha has praised these people, saying, Good indeed. You should know that Shakyamuni Buddha has rubbed the crowns of their heads, and that they have been covered by Shakyamuni Buddha's robe. People such as this will never again crave worldly pleasures. They will never again be fond of the texts or manuscripts of unorthodox sects, nor will they enjoy drawing near to the adherents of such sects or to those engaged in unwholesome occupations, be they butchers, keepers of pigs, sheep, fowl, or dogs, hunters, or prostitutes. The minds of such people will be straightforward. They will have proper mindfulness and the power of blessings and virtue. They will not be tormented by the 3 poisons, nor will they be tormented by jealousy, conceit, false pride, or overbearing pride. These people will have few desires and will know contentment. They will be able to carry out the practices of Samantabhadra. Samantabhadra, if in the final 500-year period following the parinirvana of the Tathagata, one sees people who uphold, read, and recite the Dharma Flower Sutra, one should think, before long, These people will sit under the Bodhi tree and destroy the demonic hordes. They will attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, turn the Dharma wheel, beat the Dharma drum, blow the Dharma conch, let fall the Dharma rein, and sit on the lion throne of the Dharma, amid the great multitudes of gods and humans. Samantabhadra, if in the latter age there are people who uphold, read, or recite this sutra, they will never again be greedy for clothing, bedding, food, drink, or any of the necessities of life. All their wishes will be fulfilled, and they will be rewarded with blessings in the present life. If one ridicules and slanders these people, saying, "You are insane, what you are doing is useless and will never amount to anything," one will be blind in life after life as retribution for such offenses. If one makes offerings and gives praise to these people, one will receive a good result in this life. If one sees people upholding this sutra and finds fault with them, whether or not one's criticisms are true, one will contract leprosy in this life. If one laughs contemptuously at them, then in life after life, one will have sparse or missing teeth, ugly lips, a flat nose, contorted hands and feet, triangular or crossed eyes, and a stinking, filthy body. One will be covered with hideous sores, pus, and blood, and will be afflicted with abdominal dropsy, shortness of breath, and all manner of grave and evil illnesses. Therefore, Samantabhadra, if one sees people who uphold this sutra, one should welcome them from afar and revere them as one would a Buddha. When this chapter, Bodhisattva Samantabhadra's encouragement, was taught, countless, limitless bodhisattvas, as many as the grains of sand in the Ganges, attained the dhāraṇī of billions of koṭis of revolutions. Bodhisattvas equal in number to the motes of dust in the trichiliocosm perfected the path of Samantabhadra. When the Buddha taught this sutra, Samantabhadra and all the other bodhisattvas, Shariputra and all the Shravakas, and the entire great assembly, which included gods, dragons, humans, and non-humans, greatly rejoiced, accepted and upheld the Buddha's words, made obeisance, and withdrew.
Dedication. May the merit from this practice adorn all the Buddha's lands, repay the kindness from above, and rescue those in paths below. May all who see or hear of this resolve upon awakening, and when this body meets its end, be born together in the land of bliss. This audiobook project has been a collaborative effort involving the dedication and talent of many students and staff members from the community of Dharma Realm Buddhist University. Contributors have worked on translating and polishing the text, narrating chapters, composing and performing background music, managing audio recording, and cover design. This project has been meticulously overseen and executed by the team from the International Institute for the Translation of Buddhist Texts at Dharma Realm Buddhist University, ensuring that the final product honors the depth and beauty of the sutra. Production copyright of the audiobook 2024 by Buddhist Text Translation Society. All rights reserved. Buddhist Text Translation Society does not own or retain any intellectual property rights in any of the individual audio music recordings contained in the audiobook other than their licensed use. The artists and services that provided such audio music recordings retain all rights and ownership of their respective works.